When adding photos or shapes to your iBooks Author document, you can choose exactly how the text is going to flow around that particular shape or image. Let's start with a simple triangle here. As you can see, I've added this to the document, and as I drag it around, the text is automatically flowing around the shape. However, we have quite a bit of control over how that actually flows, and in fact what happens to the shape itself as we add and delete text from the page. If you open the inspector and click on the Wrap tab, you'll see that you have three different sections of options: Object Placement, Object Wrap, and the Text Fit. We'll start with Object Placement. By default, the placement is set to floating, which means, as it says, that the object doesn't move with the text. So no matter where I put this, the text will always flow around it, and the text will continue to flow, but the object will always stay put. Another option is something called Inline. Inline treats the object as if it was just another piece of text. Let's make this quite small so we can follow this easily, and I'm going to drag this to the end of this paragraph here, just after the word felt. Now I'll go to the beginning of the paragraph, and I'll start typing some more text. This is more text. And I'll copy that and paste it out a few times. And as you can see, as I expand this paragraph, the triangle is always kept in the same place. The triangle is always right after the word felt. Let's reset that. The last option is something called Anchored. When you choose Anchored, iBooks Author creates an anchor that you can reposition wherever you like. So let's say, for example, that I have this big triangle here, and I want this to always be here in the bottom right corner of the page. However, I always want it to be on the page that has the paragraph about the triangle. This anchor can be grabbed and repositioned wherever you like. Since the triangle belongs with this chapter called Triangle, I'll go ahead and drop the anchor right there along with the word triangle. Now let's go back to adding more text to the paragraph before it. I still have some text on my clipboard, so I'm just going to hit paste a few times and get more text, and let's actually select a little bit more of that and start adding it bigger. Now as you can see, the paragraph is still on this page and the triangle is still on this page, but pretty soon that paragraph is going to move to the following page, and as soon as it does, the triangle moves with it. As I scroll over to the next page, you'll see that the triangle paragraph is now on this page and the triangle image has moved along with it. The next thing we'll look at is how the text wraps around the object. I'll go back to floating for this and make this triangle nice and big. By default, the text is set to wrap around both sides of the image or shape that you've added. And as you can see here, no matter where I put the triangle on the page, the text is wrapping all around it. We can also choose to have the text wrap just around one side or another. We can also set it to wrap around whichever side has the most space. So as I move it to the right or to the left, we'll see that the text automatically flows wherever there's more space. You can also set it so that the text doesn't wrap around the sides at all. Now, no matter how big or small I make the triangle, there will never be any text on the sides of it, only before it and after it, or above and below. Finally, the last option we have is how the text is going to fit around the object. If I click this first option, you'll see that the object is treated as a box. No matter what shape is inside of it, the text wraps around an invisible box around that object. However, for most custom shapes, you probably want the text to wrap around the shape itself, like so, and that is the default option. You can also choose how much extra space or padding is around the object. So in this case, by default it's set to 12, but if I make that smaller, you'll see that the text gets quite close to the object itself, to the point where it butts up right against the edge. If your object has transparency, the alpha option will be lit up as well, and then you can choose how the text flows through the transparent parts of the image.